All right, let's get right into it. Today, we're talking about the one skill that truly unlocks the power of AI, prompt engineering. Think of it as the secret language that lets you talk to AI, and by the end of this, you're going to be fluent. So let's dive in.
You know the feeling, right? We've all been there. You ask an AI for something incredible, something brilliant, and what you get back is just meh, generic, unhelpful, maybe just plain wrong. It's super frustrating, but here's the thing. It's probably not the AI's fault. It's the prompt's fault.
And this slide right here says it all. Look at the left. A vague prompt, right about prompt engineering, is going to get you a vague, unpredictable answer. But on the right, that's a different story. It's a structured prompt that acts like a detailed set of instructions. You're giving the AI a role, a task, an audience, a tone, and the result? Way, way better.
So what exactly are we talking about here? Well, prompt engineering is basically the art and science of designing clear instructions to get exactly what you want from an AI. Don't think of it like complicated coding. Think of it more like being a great communicator, or maybe even a film director. You're giving specific, clear directions to get the perfect performance.
So how do we actually build these great prompts? Well, it all starts with a simple blueprint. You can think of this as your recipe for getting fantastic results time and time again.
Let's break this down, because a great prompt really has 5 key ingredients. First, give the AI a role. Tell it, you are a marketing expert. Then, give it the task. Write 3 headlines. Next, add some context for a new eco-friendly coffee brand aimed at millennials. Then you give it the input data. Maybe that's a product description. And finally, you tell it the output format. Put it in a numbered list. See? Each little piece just makes the AI's job easier and the results sharper.
Okay, so once you get that blueprint down, you can start to level up with some serious power moves. These are the techniques that take the AI from just following simple instructions to performing some really complex reasoning.
First up is something called a few-shot prompt. And the idea here is so simple but so effective. Stop just telling the AI what you want and start showing it. You just provide a couple of examples of the input and the exact output you're looking for, and it learns the pattern instantly. And this is a fantastic example for something like sentiment analysis. By giving it 3 clear examples of input to output, we're not just asking it to classify that last sentence. No, we're training it right here in the prompt on our specific idea of what's positive, negative, and neutral. It's an incredibly powerful way to get consistent, high-quality results. Next up, and this one is a personal favorite, is chain of thought prompting. The magic phrase here is just adding think step by step or explain your reasoning into your prompt. It's so simple, but this little addition forces the model to slow down and actually work through a problem logically instead of just jumping to a conclusion.
And this is a perfect example of why it's so powerful. For things like math or logic problems, asking the AI to act like a tutor and show its work, it just massively cuts down on errors. Plus, you can see its whole process, which means if it does make a mistake, you can see exactly where it went wrong. It's a fantastic tool for any complex task.
All right, our final power move is a bit more advanced, but it is awesome. It's called self-critique. With this one, you're not just asking for an answer, you're asking the AI to write a first draft, then act as its own critic to evaluate that work, and then produce an even better final version.
This prompt sets up a whole creative loop. The AI writes, then it reflects, and then it refines, all in one go. It's like having both a writer and an editor inside the same machine. It's an amazing way to really push the quality of whatever you're creating to a truly professional level.
Now here's the really cool part. Everything we've been talking about, it's not just for text. These same principles, being specific, giving context, defining the output, they apply to whole new creative canvases, like generating images and even video. And what's so interesting here is how you have to think about different dimensions. For an image, right, you're just describing a single static moment in time. But for video, you have to think about how a scene evolves over time. You have to think about camera motion, and you have to make sure things stay consistent from one frame to the next.
So for images, your recipe has a few key ingredients. Of course, you've got your subject. But then you add the style, the camera details like the lens or the angle, the lighting, and specific quality keywords. The more of these ingredients you throw in, the closer that final image is going to be to what you pictured in your head.
And with video, you really do become the director. You're not just describing a scene anymore, you're describing action over time. And using real cinematic language like slow tracking shot or rock focus gives you incredibly precise control over the camera and the story you're telling. So what does all this add up to?
It means you've just picked up a new superpower. You're no longer just a passive user of AI. You're on your way to becoming its director.
So let's wrap this up with the golden rules. First, be specific. Always define the role, the task, the context. Second, provide examples whenever style really matters. Third, for those tricky tasks, demand reasoning. And fourth, and this is the big one, always remember that quality input dictates quality output. It's as simple as that.
Ultimately, this is the big mindset shift. Prompt engineering changes your entire relationship with AI. You are now in the driver's seat, actively guiding the technology to create exactly what you envision. You have the blueprint, you have the power moves, and you have the golden rules. So the only question left is, what are you going to build? You now have the keys to unlock AI's real potential. Go create something amazing.